Welcome to a special weekly episode of Marked Out Radio. We are coming to you from a hotel just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania after Steel City Con. I'm Sean.
I'm Dana.
And this is Greg.
And we have a special guest here, Greg 2600, who is here. We're going to do the show together, sharing a microphone, cramped in a tiny hotel room, and trying to make this happen. So I guess we'll start off with the reports from this week. First report comes from Sean and Finn. Dana, you were absolutely taken with this the little adventure they went on.
It was absolutely insane. I mean, imagine being a teenager or anyone, a human being that's a wrestling fan, and getting to sort of walk around with the company's top guy and be shown like all these like artifacts. Like you're laying in Mabel's casket, you're holding the Andre the Giant's like singlet. Like, I mean, again, only in wrestling does this sound normal. But
I know I haven't lived until I've tried to hold Andre the Giant's groin pouch from 1987, but Sean looked like he was having a lot of fun with that. I mean, it was just so if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check it out on the Facebook group. It was part of, I guess, the SummerSlam package that they did, but they got a tour of the WWE Warehouse, a personal tour from Cody Rhodes, and they had all kinds of crazy pictures.
Yeah, it's absolutely must see. So, go check that out.
Where was that warehouse?
I assume Connecticut.
To be honest, I have no idea where it was.
Parts unknown, maybe.
Parts unknown. I mean, certainly they're not going to divulge that publicly, or else the mutants of our hobby will descend upon it. But it was great. I mean, their photo. I can't even imagine that kind of experience, that kind of personalized thing. It looked like a lot of fun. And, Finn looked like he was in heaven, honestly.
Yeah. Living the dream.
And then Vinny posted that he hit the National. I've never been to the National, so I'm not really sure what that entails. It's like a big sports con.
Yeah, it's not only a big sports con, it's like the big sports con. It's in Chicago.
Yeah, so the National is it's run by TriStar. That's their big convention, and it's wall vendors mainly, and then there is an autograph section. And I don't recall everyone that he met, but he did meet the Fridge, and that was like I was actually thinking of going to this show, but I wound up not, and I went to the Cooperstown instead. But I really wanted to meet the '85 Bears, because they're getting really old now. The Fridge is, he's not looking good.
The Fridge is one of the few participants from WrestleMania 2 still alive.
There you go. He also met Patrick Ewing, which as a New York sports fan is pretty cool and pretty rare.
I remember when Patrick Ewing was a total jerk who no one could get anything from. And now people, you got to pay him, but you still, you can get him.
I think he's still a total jerk, though, just to be consistent.
All right, that's right. And Greg, you personally, you hit scenic Connecticut. You went to Mohegan
cows,
Sun.
I think.
It was a very beautiful, rustic, I believe was the word you used to describe the drive. How was Terrificon?
Yeah, the drive is. I don't know how Connecticut is allowed to build highways. They should be stopped because nobody moves on them.
Vince McMahon moves on them.
Well, it's Vince, listen. If there is a facet of life that one can do, at 100 times amplified than anyone else, Vince will do that. And so apparently, I don't know if you guys talked about. Did you talk about the Vince car crash?
No.
So Vince got in a car crash. This poor lady hit her car. It was literally the day that Hulk Hogan passed. And
do you think Vince was like taken by the spirit of Hulk Hogan?
She actually, this woman posted that on Facebook. She said, "By the way, it was right around the time that Hulk Hogan died." So immediately everyone was running with this nonsense about was Vince was he freaking out or something? And then I saw the other day that one of the Briscoes and maybe Bruce Prichard and some of these other WWE old school guys were like, it was common knowledge. You don't ride in a car that Vince McMahon is driving. Because it sounds like he drives like a lunatic.
And I guess there's physical evidence of that.
Well, now there is, yes. He destroyed his Bentley. But anyway, so the drive was terrible. It was actually much worse coming home. I've been to Terrificon many times. I really didn't need many people there. It was I needed Jeremy Davies. I don't know if you know who that is. He was on Lost.
Yeah, Lost.
But I actually had met him at Chiller, and I had forgotten, or I couldn't find a Saving Private Ryan poster I had. And so I brought it with me this time, got him to sign it. And then the other one was Carl Lumley, who was from Alias. He was on the recent Captain America. What's the one with Anthony Mackie? That
Winter Soldier?
No, it was like a Marvel show.
With what's his name's the Hulk, right? Harrison Ford? Are we talking about
it was a well, yes, he did make a movie, but I believe he was in the
something with the.
It was a Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
There you go.
It was a Disney Plus.
Gun to my head in 1,000 years, I don't get that. So, just saying.
I did watch it. Anyway, he was very, very nice. He was a little late, but very nice. And
to me, lateness trumps niceness, if I'm being honest.
No, I don't know what was happening with him. But
I don't care what's happening. You're committed to a time, you show up. That's it. How hard is it? How hard is it to show up somewhere on time?
And that was it. And then, as usual at that place, there's huge lines for all of the comic book authors and writers from yesteryear. They do really well there. I don't know what it is, but because those people, they do every comic convention, but the lines at that place are enormous. When Kevin Eastman goes there, and I think he was there today, so I wasn't there.
Yeah.
That you basically have to pre-order that guy because it's crazy.
I mean, I remember. I think it was last show. Dan Jurgens was there and had just an absolutely massive line. And Dan Jurgens hasn't been relevant in 20 years. 30 years even.
Well, he was at the Ace show at Nassau Coliseum and had no line.
Yeah, Terrificon's look. I like Terrificon because I think the vibe is interesting.
It is.
It's a little bit different from other cons. There's actually a funny story from Terrificon. Not last year. I think it was the year before. We had run into a vendor. I had never seen anything like this before. It was a vendor that made sculptures out of concrete. Like basically, they were like lawn ornament sculptures.
It's a lot better than it sounds.
Yeah, they were really cool. So like there was like a 20-sided D&D die. There was like little mushrooms from Super Mario, the green one and the red one.
Squidward's house, which is what I bought.
I bought a couple other things too. I don't remember what. Pokeball, and they were these lawn ornaments. They were concretes. They would last forever, basically. And so we got it in our head to buy these things, not realizing that you're at a convention, right? And but thankfully, so what we noticed first of all was when we go to buy them, it was like a husband and wife duo, and everything was priced very low. So I think I bought 4 things, and I think my total was like $50. It was something very, very cheap for these things. And I said to them, I said, you better price it higher. You're going to sell out of your table in an hour. Lo and behold, we came back an hour and a half later. Everything was sold out from the whole table. So they agreed to hold our stuff behind the table after we bought it. The problem is this con is in Mohegan Sun, which has this like complete labyrinth of weird parking garage things. And so we couldn't find the car. And so here I am lugging a huge box of concrete around the parking garage, and I'm sweating, and I'm trying to carry it.
Well, it's a casino. You're not supposed to leave the casino. That's the layout.
But it was the garage for the casino. I couldn't remember which, because like the north wing, the south wing. Couldn't remember which wing.
Yeah, we didn't copy it down or take a picture or anything. We just.
Yeah, and long story short, we were schlepping around the parking garage with bricks of concrete. And interestingly, I have never seen that vendor appear at another show.
No.
But I think they just priced too low, and they sold out of their inventory and probably lost money on the table because they priced it wrong. And then, that was the end of that. But Terrificon it has a vibe to it that's just fun.
Yeah.
And it just feels different from other shows. I always liked it. I didn't go to this one, of course, because it would have been crazy to go to that and then try to drive to Pittsburgh a couple hours later.
Plus, it's always fun to see the degenerate con goers walking past the degenerate gamblers and just the sort of like collisions of the pathetic worlds, which I mean, I am obviously part of the former, since there I am spending hundreds of dollars. But yeah, it's always a cool show. I'm kind of jealous, Greg. You got to go to Scenic Connecticut the day before going to Scenic Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so it ends up being the reason why we didn't, because Terrificon is always on our radar, but ultimately this weekend was committed to Steel City Con, and here we are. And I mean, technically it's Monroeville. I think now we're actually in.
I think we're still in Monroeville.
We're still in Monroeville. Okay. It's hard to tell. When you're in the beautiful countryside like this, sometimes the towns blend together. But anyway, gotta be honest. We kind of gained a little bit of notoriety / infamy because of our criticisms of this show's lineup. But all things considered, what did you think of this show?
I thought it was the smoothest Steel City Con ever. Literally, I have no complaints. I got everything. My one complaint would be that things were too on time, because you're not used to everything being so on time, so you have to adjust. It was really, really, really smooth.
Yeah, I mean, we so for context, we both did the photo op with the Jurassic Park kids, which was scheduled for 12:30. We arrived at 12:30, walked up, and they were halfway through the line already. And that is just so unusual for a con to be so on time. And pretty much everything was like that. I mean, our last our last scheduled photo op of the day was the Pawn Stars dual op at 4:30, and we were out the doors by 4:41 or 4:42. Dunzo. So I mean that's the level they were operating at. I mean it was. I think they changed the layout a little bit, which made the floor of the con seem a little bit less congested than it normally is, which was nice. The photo ops ran on time. The space for the photo ops was sufficient. I have no real complaints. My only complaint is that my usually reliable Deco pens, I had not one, but 2 Deco pens explode in my hand at this show. Now, keep in mind, the one Deco pen, I've been using this Deco Silver since 2022 with Olivia Hussey, right? I know this because it had the little piece of green tape on it, which we made a note of at that time. I've been using the same Silver Deco for now about 3 years. Lo and behold, the thing explodes in my hand today. But undeterred, I grabbed my trusty premium gold Deco out of my bag, and that also exploded in my hand today. So it was a complete. I have no beef with Deco. I mean, these pens are of the utmost quality, but for reasons unbeknownst to me, I just had 2 epic fails with Decos today.
I mean, listen, the pen outlived Olivia herself, so I guess that's a pretty good commercial right there. Yeah, but it was a pretty smooth time overall. I have no complaints.
So, I mean, I guess we can speak to who we got. We started out with Ariana Richards, who's Lex from Jurassic Park. I mean, she came out like 10:40 or so, 10:45. We were through that line by 11 or 11:15 at the latest.
But mind you, she came out with the headshot on the banner that they had off the website for over a month because apparently she didn't like the headshot.
That was a little bit quirky.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg, you were convinced that she was going to get pulled from the show.
Well, I mean, there's other people that were much more freaking out about that. But, yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that before where they took somebody off of it. And it's like, why can't you just put like a placeholder? Because they got bombarded on Facebook constantly every day. Is she canceled? Where is she? Why isn't she on the page? Well, she didn't like our picture. What does that mean? Just put it there anyway.
How often is she checking the website to even know if it's there?
You know what? I probably should have asked her about that whole thing, and she most likely would have been like, "What?"
Yeah. And all I remember a couple weeks ago getting a frantic text saying Ariana Richards is canceled. We shouldn't even go on this trip anymore.
Greg said, "Have fun in Pittsburgh." I'm not going.
It was a whole fiasco. I was furious. The whole thing. And then lo and behold, she wasn't canceled. She didn't like her picture on the whole thing was asinine. And then we're expecting to see different photos, and that same photo was on a gigantic banner above her head. So, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. Joseph Mazzello next to her, he was taking a real long time with everyone, so he had kind of a big line. So after her, we jumped over to Amy Smart. Amy Smart drew pretty well. I mean, this is her first con ever, so that's to be expected. She was easy. She was great. That was where my Deco began to fail, was on her.
Did she remember Studio 60?
Interstate 60.
Interstate 60.
She did remember Interstate 60. And I had her. Dana always gets the name of movies wrong. So I she not only I don't even know if I told you this. Not only did she remember the movie, but I got her to use a swear word in my quote, which she did. She used the F word on my quote. So I always enjoy getting celebrities to write. My favorite one is I got Heather Matarazzo to use the C word, which is even better. But in any case, she did write everything. She was great. She did my which also the real funny part is, and I'm gonna feel both excited and guilty at the same time, because while we're in line for Amy Smart, a guy 2 people back from us was like, hey, I guess he recognized our voices or our probably my general insanity, talking about making fun of
and
people.
And he saw me messing with the meta glasses.
Yeah. And so he recognized us from this podcast, but because I am a social misfit, I forgot to get his name. Did you get his name?
I did.
So this is standard bizarre behavior.
He had a Daredevil shirt on. He was nice.
I've seen that guy before, but I also don't know who he is.
This is fairly typical, like, antisocial, bizarre, marked out behavior, so it can't even be taken too seriously. So I apologize for not getting your name, but it was great meeting you, and it was fun to chat about the hobby in line while waiting for Amy Smart. Amy Smart line was a little bit long because she was taking her time. So we hit Ariana Richards, we hit Amy Smart, we did the pro photo with Jurassic Park kids. After that, we got back in Joseph Mazzella's line. I'll tell you something. Joseph Mazzella and Ariana Richards came back from their photo with not even taking a minute break. They were right back at it. I love that. I love celebrities who are there to work.
They did the same thing after their panel. They immediately went back to the table.
They were there to make money.
They're there to work. I respect it.
They're not there to eat Uber Eats.
Some of these people, they don't want to work.
Well, can I mention Mary Louise Parker, who I was somewhat considering getting. I've never gotten her for whatever reason. She had nobody, and then apparently got annoyed and walked and left, and it was like 1:30.
Yeah.
1:30 on a Saturday.
What kills me is if you have nobody, and we've talked about this before, the answer is not to get up and walk away in a huff. The answer is not, as Eric Bischoff did, to play on your phone with your back to the crowd. The answer is to do what David Harris from the Warriors does. Sit there and make eye contact with every single person who walks by. That's how you generate business. It just is. You have to be willing to engage with people. And so, look, then Mary Louise Parker made no money, and she deserved no money because she didn't engage with the crowd. I had run over to also, I did a side quest while you were getting another op after me. The Full House ridiculousness.
I'll get to that in a moment.
Get it, do it.
All right now?
Yeah.
All right, so after, as you guys know, I was completely 180'd on Dave Coulier when he brought along his old trusty companion, Mr. Woodchuck.
Wait. Cut it out.
Very good, Greg. Now listen, Mr. Woodchuck has aged well over these last couple of decades. I was thinking maybe moths would have gotten to him, or
maybe that was like Mr. Woodchuck 2.
Or maybe the mildew in Sean's parents' basement. But apparently, I'm going to believe it's the original screen-used Mr. Woodchuck, even though he was sparkling.
It looked really new.
I know. Listen,
But then, who's manufacturing these things?
I don't know.
Can you do a Mr. Woodchuck?
I definitely can, especially not now. I can barely do a me.
I might be able to do one. He likes words.
Yeah, we're going to be honest. Dana is acting all tired now. On the drive, first of all, I drove down to Pittsburgh, or over to Pittsburgh, from 2 a.m. to about 9 a.m.
I was navigating.
By navigating, he was sleeping open-mouthed in the car the entire time.
Not the entire time.
Almost the entire time.
I saw Greg's house, and that was about it.
The fact that you're tired and I'm still going, I haven't slept at all, is interesting. But anyway, I thought the Pittsburgh drive was easy. I thought it was great. Will I crash hard tonight in a few hours? Probably. But that's just how it goes. In any case, you got Dave Coulier. I'm not wasting my time with that. What I did was way more important than that. I had to find another Welcome to the Dollhouse print to get signed by Heather Matarazzo. One of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite characters of all time, Dawn Wiener. If you haven't seen that movie, you ought to, because it's legendary. And really, the whole Todd Solondz filmography is legendary. I highly recommend all of it. Every one of his movies is great. He's a genius. I'm done. Wow. I thought someone was going to interject.
Well, I was going to say I got Dave Coulier. I got him on a real Ghostbusters fan club magazine.
Look at that.
These were not cheap.
The listeners can't see that very
No.
well.
You can post it on next Whip It Out Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, what's it really called?
Wicked Ink Wednesday.
Wicked Ink Wednesday.
But now I like that better.
Wicked,
So in any case, I got Heather Matarazzo again. That's when my gold deco completely failed. It's just at this point, I need to go shopping at Deco again for new pens. That's clearly what happened. But anyway, that's that. After that, we finally got in Mazzella's line, easy peasy, all the way done, and then it was just ops until the end of the day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think the only one. Well, I think the only one I want to go. Ray Park, as usual, didn't show up. They thought he was flying in too late, and then didn't fly in at all, and won't fly in at all.
And then they gleefully re-announced him for December, even though
not happening.
It's. Yeah. I mean, this is a thing apparently that he does. I'm not really sure why. Why bother with the rigmarole? But he seems to. This is a thing. So if you're a Ray Park fan, and what it means is if he shows up, wonderful. But you can't make your travel plans based on that.
The good news is I impulse bought the photo op last night around 11:30. Despite never even seeing that movie, I figured it was definitely a good move, and then I regretted it this morning. So it was actually music to my ears, assuming they refund me now, which they're kind of shady with the new merger. But
well, I thought it's Celeb Photo Ops. It does the photo ops here.
It's Leap Epics.
They had Celeb Photo Ops pictures everywhere.
Okay,
it was their website.
Leap handles the ticketing, and Leap doesn't do refunds.
I don't know.
I am 100% sure it's Leap.
Tickets were through Leap.
It's all through Leap. And Leap handles all the back end for all these things now.
Maybe they bought them too.
Maybe. I don't know. But Leap handles ticketing for sure. Because as soon as I see Leap now, I groan internally because I know you can't play any games with the ticketing.
I used to blame my imaginary children all the time for buying stuff without my consent.
So that was the one minor gripe was we did get our photo ops with the Pawn Stars guys. Rick was great. Chun-Li was wearing a hat and sunglasses, and while this is not the end of the world, it was. I mean, these sunglasses were big enough to obscure most of his face.
I mean, it wasn't the same not getting to look into his bloodshot eyes.
I don't know. I mean, I actually when I went up, I got him at the table, and I asked him if he could take them off, and he took them off, and then the guy was like taking the picture on my camera, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the Flash. I get migraines from the Flash." But you had a different interpretation.
Oh, I mean, he has a reputation. Let's just say that. Let's say this is not anything secret, but regardless, in the grand scheme of things, it was fine. It's just bizarrely unprofessional to walk up to a professional photo op with a hat and sunglasses. Shades of Olivia Hussey, to be honest. And many others who pulled the same thing. It's bizarre behavior that normal people do not engage in this behavior, but here we are. This is part of the deal. Dana, we forgot there was a humiliating detail about WrestleCon last week that you forgot to mention. So go ahead and mention it, because it's of course at my expense.
Listen, it was amazing. It was during our swipe right session. Our next door neighbor was Mr. ESS, the guy with the double-barreled fanny packs. He had Outback Jack with his titanium leg.
If you don't know Outback Jack is a fairly obscure 80s wrestler. He really only is notable that despite the fact that he barely made TV at all, they made an LJN figure of him. And so anyone with an LJN figure is considered a legend, even though really he barely made TV. I digress. Continue the story.
Okay, so Outback Jack was there. He was stretching out his metal leg, which I don't really understand why you'd have to stretch out a metal leg, since, I mean, what are you stretching? But whatever, that's fine. And it stretched out, and you were doing, I don't even know what you were doing.
I was running back behind the table.
Yeah, but as you're running behind the table, you kicked/tripped on the leg and almost fell on his lap, face first.
So when you kick or bump into a person when it's flesh, right? There's give there, so you're not propelled forward at full velocity. But when you kick a metal object, this very, very, very sturdy metal leg, by the way, there was no give, and I kind of went flying forward, and I didn't expect it at all. And of course, I was absolutely mortified. I thought I hurt the guy, but then I realized it was a metal leg, you didn't feel it. but I still he felt it, I'm sure, in his heart. So apologies, Outback Jack, again, because I did apologize in person, but I almost fell on him.
And I guess I should apologize for laughing right as it happened, along with Brad and Ricky. We were all cracking up.
Everyone was laughing at my expense because I tripped over a guy's prosthetic leg.
Listen, it certainly happens at WrestleCon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the prosthetic leg was there. It was in my line. It was in my line of motion, but not in my line of sight.
He shouldn't have stretched it out. If it wasn't a prosthetic leg, it would have been rude. You don't stretch your leg out that far.
Yeah.
It's on him. And you were on him, so it kind of works out.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so some other news. We have the second week of Wicked Inc. Wednesday. Not Whip It Out Wednesday, that's an old joke. So, Greg, you had a cool return. You make the top of the charts of Wicked Inc. Wednesday.
Oh, yes. I think this is the second or third major send-in for Sir Anthony Hopkins. And so I finally broke down and decided, I'll send something in. But here's the thing. I like The Silence of the Lambs, but I also like some of his other work. And there was this is how crazy I am. There is a certain photo shoot that he did in the 90s that he used on his through the mail correspondence for many, many, many years. He would sign it. I'm pretty sure they were his autographs. But they would come in a 5x7, and that is not a size that I like. I want an 8x10. So I had to find this photo shoot, and of course I wasn't going to pay wire image prices to download this licensed photo, so I went through other means and concocted it myself, and I sent it.
You stole the photo.
No, well, I borrowed it, and it's fair use. It was just my use. And anyway, I went through Everest autographs, and Chris has always been very good. And one good thing about him was, even when he worked for Official Pics, is if you gave him enough time and you sent him a JPEG, he'll just print it at his lab. And he'll just, if it's a custom photo, you don't even have to send the photo in. You just prints it. And so it came back and looked great, and that was pretty much it. Did you want me to talk about my meat?
Sure, why not, man? It's a little bit added bonus. Bonus content.
So Anthony Hopkins is actually known as being more or less fan-friendly over the years. However, this was not long after the whole COVID mess, and he was filming an independent movie. I forget who was directing it. I don't know if it was Zach Braff directing it. It was somebody like that. But he's filming it in Teaneck, New Jersey. And a friend of mine...
Beautiful place.
It's a nice place. And... have you
Stop
been there?
lying.
No,
Stop lying to the list.
It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad.
Listen, I want to buy a vacation home in Teaneck one day.
Well, there's no beach there. So anyway, a buddy of mine found out where they were filming it. It was like on a street, just a residential street. And we went, and this was all the COVID precautions at the time, and so Hopkins was like walking. So they were filming in the one house, and across the street in the other house was like the green room. That's where they were going back and forth, and he walks across, and his security guy is like, don't get near him. And so my friend, who's very boisterous and aggressive with this stuff, like went on and like, oh, Mr. Hopkins, please stop, babbling along. And so Anthony Hopkins started to tell us why he couldn't do anything because of COVID. He had some friend that was very sick from COVID or something like that. In the process of him saying this, standing there saying this to us, we each took photos with him that were actually like pretty close to him. We stood like about 3 feet, 4 feet kind of, off to the side of him. And he was like smiling, but I don't know if he was actually like, if he was giving permission. He was just like telling this.
Is this question of
he was
consent?
He was telling this story.
His
but
eyes said yes.
He never flinched. He was just telling this story, and the story was taking so long.
And you just rolled with it.
we just did it. So I got the picture with him. It came a little weird because of the lighting and things like that, and my positioning versus him. But Yeah, it was crazy. And then that was during the day. And then at night, all these other people that we knew went there. And, sure enough, at night, when he walked from the one house to the other, he stood there and let people take pictures, with him, even though he was, 5 feet behind everybody. But he didn't sign anything. So I figured, might as well. His generosity, I'll give him some generosity. I don't know.
Yeah, complete the combo.
Yeah, well, that's what happened.
That's pretty good. So,
hell of a meat.
What's funny is I wanted to send in to that Anthony Hopkins but then they had kind of interesting rules, like he won't sign anything with blood on it, which is interesting. I mean, given that that's sort of a main theme of his work, and for some reason I use that as a pretext to not buy. Really, I was just being cheap.
You sure they didn't just mean actual real blood?
No, he won't sign any bloody photos. It's a whole thing.
Well, there are celebrities who won't sign, like Harvey Keitel, for instance.
No guns.
No
right?
gun.
Yeah.
Which is incredible because it's every movie he's ever been, he's holding a gun, shooting someone with a gun.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing. But yeah, so in any case, I never got that, and Hopkins is sort of one of the modern legends of acting who's still alive, kind of hanging on by a thread. So it would be nice to add him to the. Listen, what did I say? Listen, after Hulk died, everyone's hanging by a thread. That's how I look at it. So I'm still not there yet. Anyway, that was Greg's return. Also, Brad Davis, he posted a print from The Boys, the Amazon Prime show. It looked like he had just about everyone from that damn show on that print. It looked unbelievable.
And he picked the absolute best color. Sometimes I'm a fan of like crisscrossing the colors. I like mixing a lot. But that all
white and red
all in that
feeling.
white, it looks perfect. That is beautiful. I don't even watch the show, and I'd like that hanging on my wall.
It looked great. And so, every Wednesday we're going to keep doing that, posting your coolest items or your newest gets. Will be awesome. Other news, Matthew McConaughey is once again making the rounds for his children's book tour. So he's doing, I guess, photo ops at Bookends in New Jersey.
Poetry, isn't it? It's like a poem.
Yeah,
that's what it says.
To be honest, I got that book. I didn't read it. I didn't even crack it open. The
That's
binding
sold
is
to
not
me.
even broken. But it's my understanding it's sold out already. The next one, so it's sold out already. So if you didn't get it, it's too late. Sorry.
Catch him next time.
Catch him next time. Clearly, this is a thing, a recurring thing. While we were at Still City this weekend, they announced people for December. It looks like a pretty stacked lineup already. With Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund, Saraya, who was Paige in WWE, Linda Hamilton, Robert Englund, Peter Cohen, Frank Welker, Frank Grillo. There we go. So we're hoping with Linda Hamilton, we're hoping for Robert Patrick. But you don't want Robert Patrick in Still City, right? Because that means we have to go to Pittsburgh again.
I mean, yeah, it's a rough thing all around because I need Robert Patrick. I'm a big Charlie Hunnam guy, but at this point, I got the trio op from Sons of Anarchy. I got the autograph. I got a solo op. There's no real reunion they could do with him that I would need.
And we did I know Sean and I did the Rhode Island, the first ever meet and greet of Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Of the Transformers.
Yeah, I got them on that promo LP of the soundtrack for Transformers the movie.
Oh, I will need them again. First of all, I need Welker on that Real Ghostbusters magazine that Dave signed, and I've been wanting to get Cullen on an old trailer.
Hasn't Cullen been canceling a lot lately?
He did at the end of last year. He was under the weather a few times. He canceled. They're appearing in Houston in September. I was trying to find someone to send in for that, but I couldn't find anybody that I've ever heard of that is going to that con. So.
And Robert Englund, I'm definitely not dealing with in Pittsburgh.
Boy. No, Robert Englund draws like no one else. It's actually nuts.
I really have to send in to Robert Englund. If Hulk teaches us anything, Freddie could die any moment. So I
dropped $1,000 on Robert Englund a few months ago, over a year ago now, but just now I'm done with him. So
what scares me though is much like he's like Zach Linder with like a claws. Like all he uses is Posca. So you got to be very careful what you send them because all of a sudden.
I was really wondering where you were going with that. But it's true. He uses Posca. He's a Posca devotee, and it is what it is. Other news: Chill Out Con added James Denton and Catherine Bell. By
the way, I got them both at a Christmas con.
Very nice, very nice. I wouldn't be caught dead in Christmas con, but That's
No.
just me. I think
You wouldn't want a photo of Danica McKellar and a nice plastic Christmas tree?
Listen, I have my incredibly awkward photo op with Danica McKellar outside next to my wrestling chair from 2007. 2008, whatever.
Dana has a nice one.
It was nice, but she has that weird face on, like she's hoping not to be murdered. So,
I mean, she did find us outside with a wrestling chair.
very
So, I
strange.
mean, why wouldn't she?
The big event added Sting. Again, I guess this is his also another last appearance. He seems to be making lots of last appearances.
Listen, I love it. I really do. Because then he's going to have to go on a run for the last appearance in the red paint. And then maybe he can go on a surfer run. I love it. Keep carnying Sting.
Chiller Theater added Chuck Zito. I know the public has been clamoring for more Chuck Zito, which is nice.
I'm going to hold my tongue on that one.
Rhode Island Comic Con added reunions for Land of the Lost, and they also added Henry Winkler. So,
Hey, listen, if they added Henry Winkler, please get Ron Howard up there. Come on.
I don't care about any of that.
Well, actually, and just to be a little more specific, Land of the Lost. Normally, when they appear somewhere, it's the actors, but this one actually they have Sid Croft. You're not going to get. I don't even know if Marty's still alive. You're not getting Marty. He's way too old. But I think this is one of the first Sid Croft appearances in the Northeast ever. I don't know if he's actually appeared in.
Does that get you to Rhode Island?
Well, I'll probably there anyway. There's other people.
You'll
I
go
need
in there anyways.
Yeah, I'm always there.
But wait a minute, Henry Winkler's there. They already have Bryce Dallas Howard. They got to be building a Happy Days reunion.
I
right?
don't care about Ron Howard.
Take that back.
Really?
You know what it is?
He's a national treasure. Dan.
Apollo 13. Jim, the original Apollo 13 astronaut, he just died.
I saw that. Means nothing to
97.
me. Apollo 13, I never liked the movie, honestly. I
great
could do
movie.
without
I
it.
think I'm going to go see it in theaters. They're re-releasing it in IMAX.
No, not for me, brother. No, it doesn't work for me.
You don't like Splash either?
No. Really, I like nothing he's ever done. So, it's just me. What can I say? Photo with Friday, which was yesterday, I think. My weekend is totally turned upside down. It was another success. Lou posted a full Boy Meets World cast photo. I believe this is the only time that full cast was available back in 2018. I saw that. And Mr. Poppin' Twist posted his photo with China Doll, I guess she was at the time, Joni Laurer, who is now dead. And so two awesome photos. That Boy Meets World thing, I mean, that whole reunion relationship turned into a complete boondoggle. Not really sure what happened there. I'm not sure many people know what happened there, but they looked poised to go on a multi-city run together, and then Ben Savage just pulls out, disappears, and then the rest of them kind of tried to make it happen, and here we are.
Well, first he ran for Congress and lost very badly. I think in the primary he got it was a really bad
I
trouncing.
think he ran as like a centrist Democrat or something.
I don't remember, but he got flattened in the primary, and then he kind of went into like a shell after that, and then they were like, "Whoa, he doesn't talk to us anymore. We don't know what happened." And then Fred Savage got canceled, so I don't know what happened there. By the way, I never actually got China.
Really?
I saw her a couple. I remember the last big event she did. She was so rude and unprofessional at her table.
That's wild.
That I didn't want to have anything to do with her.
I met China at like some flea market somewhere.
I think I saw her at Legends of the Ring.
No, I was not at a con. It was at a weird flea market. She was the only wrestler appearing. She drew maybe 25 or 30 fans, and she was overly friendly, delightful. So, I mean, look, everyone knows, it's very well documented that she had significant problems with drugs and alcohol, so you never really knew which person you were going to get.
And I think the other time she had done Chiller at least once, maybe twice, but when Chiller, they don't really get wrestlers anymore, but Chiller used to get wrestlers in the vendor room at the previous hotel in the Sheraton. And what used to happen is I'd go to Chiller, I'd be getting people, and I'd go to look for these vendor guests, and they're gone. They're gone by like 2:00 or even earlier. So I would never find them there. Larry Holmes, the boxer, was another one. I kept trying to look for him. He'd never stay long enough. So no China for me.
No.
No China.
That's it. That's it for that. So if you're shopping for autographs, check out www.markedoutcollectibles.com or our eBay store at Marked Out Collectibles. To contact us for any reason, please email markedoutcollectibles@gmail.com or join the Marked Out Collectibles official marketplace on Facebook. All links are in the show notes on Facebook and Substack. And if you want your event, product, or brand advertised on episodes of Marked Out Radio, reach out to us today at markedoutcollectibles@gmail.com. Also, please subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and or review. You can leave a rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a rating on Spotify, or you can leave a comment, a thumbs up, or a thumbs down on YouTube. And I love all of those comments and thumbs. I love me some thumbs on YouTube, so have at it. So let's get to the main point. Now that we have Greg here, we can talk about a very, very special event. It is very weird because on some level, we always felt like we had to keep it somewhat of a secret for certain reasons, which we'll get into. But this event was so awesome and also so horrific and so dangerous and so very, very irresponsible of all of us, which makes it a really fun story. And so this story takes place in the winter of 2018, and it is a terrible, terrible winter. And that's the context for the story. And I'll let Greg kind of jump in at the beginning, and then we'll kind of tell it because we have two different perspectives on the story. But this is the story of how me, Dana, Greg, and Lanza ended up in Columbus, Ohio. And AJ Lee from the board, that's right. We ended up in Columbus, Ohio, to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger, where all five of us committed fraud and pretended to be chiropractors. And if there's anything I like least, and I don't like many things less in this world than chiropractors, pawnbrokers, that's it. And maybe liquor store owners. Other than that, chiropractor is at the bottom of my list. So we were really slumming it here, but I digress. And so let's start talking about how we figured this out. I mean, I was completely a babe in the woods here. I knew nothing about this. Dana told me about it and I jumped on it. Greg, how did we get to lying about being chiropractors to meet Arnold in Columbus, Ohio?
Right. So I'm gonna...
What a lead-in, right?
I'm gonna tiptoe about certain things, but basically, well, the main event was the Arnold Classic, which had been going on for decades and decades and decades. A big bodybuilding expo in Columbus, Ohio. The main one, really, in the United States. And Arnold would be there every year, and apparently he had some relationship with this chiropractic national group. They'd have a symposium, they'd have training classes that they would offer, and they would have some various guests. Sometimes they were sports people, a lot of times they were weightlifting people, bodybuilding. Some of the American gladiators, I guess, had shown up. And Arnold, every single year, apparently, Arnold Schwarzenegger would go and he would speak at their breakfast every single year. But we didn't know any of this. We had been told these like old wives' tales about, there's some event that people get Arnold at. I've seen pictures. And even though this is like 2018, like nobody could find anything. But and I'll get to this later, but like it's this the craziest thing in the world. Could not find anything about this on Google. But then once we knew the name of it, I found tons and tons of pictures. But so at the time, here was the thing. The offer was on this website, you would pay to go to this symposium, however much it was. It was like 3 or 4 days.
It was a couple $100.
Yes, for the admission. Now, if you wanted to take courses, you'd have to pay extra and whatever else. But all it included really was you would go there. You would get breakfast. I mean, you were responsible for your own hotel, blah, blah, blah. And there was this event on the Saturday morning with Arnold. And it said more or less this on the website. It did not really say explicitly Arnold Schwarzenegger will take photos with everyone. Will there be a meet and greet? It didn't really say anything about that specifically. Why would it? It's a chiropractor's symposium. It's not a meet and greet.
It's not meant for the public.
Right. So we were extremely, extremely freaking out about this because we're like, what if we pay all this money and we fly all the way out there and then they find out, the gig is up and they toss us. And now what? We've gone all the way. This would be the worst fail of collecting of hobby of all time.
It would have been.
Oh, God, it would have been brutal. So we didn't tell anybody. And actually, the only person I told was AJ Lee because I knew he would tell no one. He wouldn't tell a soul. And so the way we learned about it was some other people found out about it and they didn't really want to tell anybody. And somehow information leaked through a source and told us. And anyway, so we procrastinated for a while. And then we finally were like, let's just do this. And we bought the passes. And you can get to what we actually did when we bought it. And then we bought the airfare. And we were all flying out. Well, the four of us, I don't know what AJ Lee did, but the four of us.
He's accustomed to
I'm sure
country drives.
He had to have driven.
AJ Lee probably had like a freaking dog and a sled being pulled through the
He's the one to drive over.
Anyway, so we decided we're going to fly out because we were banting about what should we do. And somebody, I don't know, Sean, if you said, why don't we rent a van? We'll drive out there in the van. And then Lanza and I were like...
That is not something I would ever recommend.
Well, that's what he said.
And that's something he would say.
Told us that.
I am always in favor of flying. I always.
Well, I thought you wanted to drive the van.
No.
That's never
You
true.
didn't want to fly. That's what it was.
I always like flying. As a rule in life, I will always fly. I love to fly. It's easy.
So we're in Pittsburgh right now. This was like, for me, this would be like almost 6 hour drive. Columbus, Ohio is like 8 hours.
And it's a solid, unforgiving 8 hours.
And so Lanza and I were like, no, we're not driving, we're flying. All right, so we all agreed to fly. Well, I don't know. Well, all right. So then by, the weather's, as we're coming down to this week, and the weather's not looking good, But
Not
the
at
thing
all.
is, you never know with weather and whether they're going to delay planes, cancel flights, whatever.
Horrific generational snowstorm.
It wasn't. No, it actually wasn't that bad.
It was by us, it was bad.
Yeah.
Well,
By us, it was bad. It was
Yeah.
white out bad.
not for us.
Yeah.
But
By out east, it was bad.
I think what happened is that it snowed in most of Pennsylvania already. And so, here's what happened. I don't know about you guys, but the morning of, I say to Lanza, they canceled our flights. They just canceled them. So we were already thinking about, I think we should just rent a car and drive out there. And
Yeah, we kind of knew the flights were probably
we just
on thin ice.
assumed they were probably going to get canceled. So they all got, the flights out there got canceled. So, now Lanza was I don't know why he went to work on this Friday, but he had all this stuff and he's like, well, where should I meet you? He worked in the city. And I don't know if he still lived in the Bronx at that point. And I was like, well, you're going to have to take a bus and get on Route 3 so I can pick you up because I'm renting the SUV. And so I rented the car and I'm picking him up. There's Lanza on the side of the highway it's starting to snow. And I'm picking this guy up at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we start driving. And I drove, I think I drove all the way out to almost most of Pennsylvania, and then he took over. And I don't know what the heck time we got there to our hotel. But you know what? The drive, there was a point in time, we took Route 80, and there was a point in time where we hit something where there was all these big tractor trailers, and because it had snowed, they couldn't get up this mountain. So they were literally like backing down the mountain. So we had to navigate that. That was the one part that was like, oh my God, that's skittish. But other than that, the drive I thought was fine.
So we had a little bit of a different experience.
Okay.
We had gone to the rental car agency. And, whenever you go to try and get a rental car with no reservation, it's always an adventure. And frankly, even when you do have a reservation, it's often an adventure. And so we went to we had tried to get some kind of SUV. And the guy keep in mind we were going one way because the plan was still to fly back from Columbus. And getting them to agree to a one-way rental is interesting because sometimes they don't want to do it because so in case you want to get down the rabbit hole of car rental franchises, but car rental each franchise has its own fleet and they don't necessarily want to give up pieces of their fleet. And if you do a one-way rental, they give up a car. So we had asked for an SUV, and the manager at this, I think it was Enterprise. I don't really remember though. It was too long ago.
Sounds like, I think it was Enterprise.
Yeah.
And the manager was like, listen, I really don't want to give up an SUV from my fleet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to discount heavily because I really don't want in my fleet a BMW convertible. And so that is
in the snow.
That is the story of how Dana and I drove to Columbus in a tiny ass BMW convertible in the snow because that's what Enterprise was willing to give us to drive one way. So our experience, I don't remember much of the details of it. I feel like I drove.
You drove up until... I drove through West Virginia, so at some point in Pennsylvania...
What are you doing down there?
That's how it took us. We went through West Virginia into Ohio. Somewhere in like central Pennsylvania, maybe western Pennsylvania, you tagged out. I tagged in, which I was happy about, because once we hit Ohio, I got that BMW up to like 105. I was flying.
It was actually a cool ride.
It was.
It was nice. And it was nice that we barely... I think the entire rental was like $70 or something. It was $60.
They didn't charge you the fee for leaving it there?
No, because he wanted out of his fleet.
Oh.
We were basically Enterprise employees.
Yeah, we were doing him a favor. Because his joke was, I'm going to stick these guys with this car.
I gotcha.
No one wanted to pay. It was a high rental fee. So it was a kind of an internal gag. We got lucky. It was very cheap what we paid for that thing. Which was a fun little piece of it.
So all right, so we're all there, and then the next morning is the Saturday, and we go to this hotel where they're having this breakfast.
So now we're doing our best chiropractor impersonations.
Well, here's the other thing: is we all wore like suit and tie, basically.
I wore I would say dress shirt and I don't do a suit and tie.
All right, well, the rest of us did.
Did you wear a suit and tie?
I did.
Wear a suit and tie.
I did.
Really? Get out of here! Really?
I had a tie.
Lanza had suit, tie, and jeans because I'll mention it. When he went to get out of the car, his pants split. When he went to get in the car, that morning, his pants split. He goes, pants to split. I said, I guess you're wearing the jeans.
Yeah, I wore a shirt and slacks. No shirt. No.
Did AJ Lee have the trademark denim?
I believe he did.
I think he had a blazer.
I think he had a denim tie.
I don't remember.
Maybe a denim shirt button down underneath the blazer.
We got to dig up that photo up somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah,
we do that.
It's on one of the reports.
It's got to be in the show graphic.
Yeah, so Sean, you were saying how we filled out this paperwork to...
Yeah, so one of the things, in order to register for this event, we had to attest on this documentation that we were chiropractors. And so that it's funny because that part of it gave us no pause at all. We all just said, screw it, because that was the only way to pay. You had to check the box. So we all became chiropractors.
And let me just say, I love chiropractors. After the awful things you were saying about
all I said was they're all crooks, and their entire medical profession is a scam. And their training isn't real.
I disagree.
I mean, you can disagree all you
What's
want.
up, Don?
It's fact. But I digress. But which shows you how much care they have, by the way, towards protecting their profession. If four nudniks like us were able to just get into their professional conference with no credentials. So, and when I say no credentials, there was not even an attempt to verify our credentials. We walked in that next morning. No one even looked at us like we didn't belong at all.
No,
was I the only one that had to do an adjustment? I'm kidding, by the way.
All they asked was, the lady was like, "Are you taking training classes?" No. Okay.
I think we missed an opportunity. We could have had a nice second career.
So then we sat there. We had nice breakfast, and then Arnold walked up there and probably gave the same speech he gives every year. There were good jokes in it. It's Arnold.
I even remembered. I was just worrying about photo ops.
Yeah, and then...
it was not that long. It was a pretty...
No, it wasn't that fast. It wasn't that long. And then they brought Arnold to another room, and I think he signed some stuff that was supposed to be auctioned for charity or something, and then he did the photos, and it was pretty quick. He went through the photos.
We were in and out of there in 7 or 8 minutes. It was very fast.
Yeah, I think... it was very fast. I think they gave us like a 4x6... photo printout in like a folding thing.
Yes, I remember that.
And then there was, you got the digital. I didn't think the photo quality was superb, but whatever.
Oh, come on.
Because it was zoomed out a little bit.
Yeah, you were like far away. It was not good lighting. So then...
Still, Arnold looked like Arnold.
Of course. He shook your hand, he was taking the picture. And then I think there was some other people there that people were getting. And so me and this other guy, Steve, were the only ones that had items to try and get Arnold on.
That's wild that we went out there with nothing.
And so like we were like trying to follow him around. He like went downstairs into this like break room and here, and you know, we tried him a couple times and he just blew us off. So that was that. No graphs at that event. And so then after it, you two went to the actual Arnold Classic and met some people, and then Lanza, myself, and AJ Lee went into some restaurant and just ate.
Yeah, so there was the whole Arnold Classic event, and so the headliner for that event, there were all kinds of games and vendors and like these, what do you call them? Exhibitors. That's the word I'm looking for. All kinds of fancy things. But the headliner there, they had Ronda Rousey, who at the time had just signed with WWE. It was just been made public, so I don't even think she had appeared for them once. But it was barely like a thing yet. And Ronda Rousey was just coming off, of course, being a massive star in MMA. And so I mean, they were doing, and it was a completely free appearance with Ronda Rousey, and you could either get a photo op or an autograph. And so, of course, I somehow managed to snake both, but that is the marked out way.
That is the marked out way. I just got the photo op. If I didn't bring anything for Arnold, I damn sure didn't bring anything for Ronda.
Right, and so then...
Well, they also had photo ops with Randy Couture, which we also got, which is cool. I mean, Randy Couture at the time, he's a UFC legend.
Oh, yeah, also Patrick Schwarzenegger.
And Patrick Schwarzenegger,
yes.
which I actually found that the other day, but it was no digital stuff. It was just this crappy little 4x6 printout that I scanned. But yeah, we got Patrick Schwarzenegger. I mean, now at the time he was promoting some crappy little indie movie, but now he's like starring in White Lotus and stuff. It was pretty
He's
cool.
a name now.
So then we all met back at the airport. And
thinking we were gonna go home.
Well, some of us did. And listen, I said to Dana beforehand, when you guys were booking the flights, I said to him, do not book the last flight out, because there's always trouble with that. And so Lance and I flew out of there. We flew back to Newark, and we were gone. And before we had left, you guys got the word that I think the flight was delayed or just canceled. They
canceled our flight. This is honestly one of the more harrowing experiences of my life. There are very few times, I think, and maybe I'm fortunate, I guess, to say this. There are very few times when I felt completely powerless, and that was one of them. And they canceled our flight, and I remember they were so like ice cold about it too. There was flights canceled, and then so we had this whole plan that we were just gonna like camp in the airport overnight because we figured they rebooked us for a morning flight. So let's just screw it. Let's just camp in the airport, and we'll fly out in the morning. And
I think for a split second, I floated the idea of us getting a rental car and driving back, and that was quickly shot down. You wanted no part of that.
They were comping us the next flight. It wasn't. I mean, why would pay for another couple $100 for a rental car? I had to drive another 8 hours, and the weather still wasn't good.
It had gotten worse back east.
And so we go to Dana's, of course, sleeping on the seats in the airport immediately. And so like I'm trying to get comfortable, and it's not good. And at some point at around like I want to say midnight or 1 a.m., the security guards, and we were not alone. There were other people from our flight trying to do this. They kick everyone out of the terminal as the airport is closed. And I remember thinking, like, wait a second, where am I supposed to go? It's like midnight or 1 a.m. and I'm in the middle of this city. I have no idea where I am. I have no car. The weather is horrible. What am I supposed to do? And they kind of just shrugged their shoulders. And that was like one of those moments when you're like, what is going on here? So what we ended up doing was we left the terminal, we walked to the main lobby of the airport, and we along with, I would say, at least 100 other people were sat in Starbucks, this giant public Starbucks in the lobby of the airport, and we sat there all night long.
I think I slept a little bit more in Starbucks.
I could not. There was nowhere to go. And I was like really despondent, because like I was, when your brain is trying to twist and turn to come up with a solution, and you realize you're trying not to accept that there is no solution to this problem. You're just gonna have to suffer. And so we did, and we sat in this Starbucks until I want to say 7 or 8 a.m. when our flight was, and then we were able to fly home. So it was an absolutely hellish experience. And would you do it again for Arnold?
Oh, 100%. And then the other weird little caveat here was I'd never flown before, which is probably why I floated the option of renting a van, as if we were like Scooby-Doo in the Mystery Machine. But it's all this, I'm waiting to fly, because I always had like this thought in my back of my mind, like, what if I'm on this plane and I like freak out and I can't stand it, and I'm like stuck up there. So I keep waiting to finally fly, and it keeps being delayed. And then finally I fly, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that detail. So we finally were able to get home. It was an absolute disaster. But at the same time, it was a cool adventure to get one of the few people who's worth traveling that distance for. And of course so for the longest time, for a couple of years, we had these really awesome exclusive Arnold photos that a lot of people didn't have, really cool posed Arnold photos like us.
We had it for a year.
Yeah, and then of course, the next year, this little secret just completely blew up.
We were the guinea pigs.
Yeah, and so once everyone knew that we got Arnold at this thing, then everyone in the hobby started doing it.
Yeah.
So I guess honestly, we should have saved the report. We should have not posted the photo.
No, because it was like photo op of the year on our old stupid awards.
The awards, yeah, but we all had the same ones.
Award. We split it.
No, but it was the photo op of the year was an award. It wasn't who got it. It was just that. But yes, it was a collaborative photo op.
And it was damn cool, and it felt like subversive in a way because we were cheating the system. Let's be honest. That was a part of the appeal, that we were cheating the system. We were like secret chiropractors for a day. I didn't even have to scam anyone's insurance. And so it was awesome. It was one of those things. It was a life-changing. Like, it was one of those things that, sometimes in this hobby, you're like, oh, do I want to keep doing this? Oh, is it worth it? And then you do something like that, and you're like, that was so cool. Even though it was absolutely hellish, it ripped my body apart for days. I was exhausted. It was awesome.
Well, it was even more satisfying for me because several years earlier, Arnold he had done what was that Terminator, was it 4 or Dark
Salvation? Genesis,
yeah, it was that one. And so he was promoting it in New York City, and I had information of where it was and blah blah blah. And like an idiot, I didn't go. And then the windup was because I knew like how to get into this movie theater without having a ticket, and all these other people did it. And basically, Arnold came out into the lobby and went down the line for like 80 people and did selfies. And so I always kicked myself for that. I mean, I'd met him. I'd seen him at some other stuff where he just signed. He just only signed. It was very difficult to get the photo with him on the street. And so that was satisfying in that sense, and that I fixed that boo-boo.
So and then of course everyone and their mother has Arnold now from the book signings anyway.
Yes.
So Arnold is not special
He did a few
at all.
conventions as well along the way. Yeah.
But we went from having a super exclusive thing to something that's commonplace. But I don't care.
Listen, at least he looked better when we got him. He's a little less geriatric looking.
Well, now he has that white beard.
Yeah.
He just looks a lot older. He does. I still say we got Arnold when he still looked like Arnold, and that means something to me, even though it's kind of a weird mean thing to say.
Is he too clinging on to life?
No.
Yeah, he had heart surgery. What are you talking about?
That was a while ago.
Oh, okay. So for those of us who have never had heart surgery,
Arnold is fine.
Listen, anyone who put that much steroid into their body is going to have a risk, and that's just a reality.
If Arnold dies before this episode drops, we gotta start talking about lottery tickets next week.
Look, it was great. It was one of those things that if you experienced it, the adventure of it was crazy because we're driving there in the snow. We expected to fly. Then the trip home, it was just a whole ordeal. But all we received no material benefit from this. It was literally just a digital photograph with Arnold, and yet all of us were like thrilled to have done it. And it's just this sort of it encapsulates
you're just checking the name off.
Yeah, well, actually, my Arnold was one of my top ones.
For a lot of people.
So it was great, but like that's one of those things that like to someone outside this hobby, it's you cannot possibly explain to them why we would do something like this, and to someone in the hobby who like we didn't tell about this, they were enraged that we didn't tell them.
Well, not everybody,
but some were. And so it's just a funny dichotomy between those who are inside and outside the hobby. Like, you know, someone like my dad, right, where I convinced him to go to the book signing, right? And that was like, oh, he wanted to get a picture with Arnold. But to convince my dad to pretend to be a chiropractor and go to Columbus, it's preposterous. So like there's just those who are inside and those who are outside. It's a kind of a funny distinction.
I have my personal thing has always been, especially with me, because I run in a lot of circles where there's like info traded, not so much anymore because so much is out there. But it used to be, you know, people would they'd have these like battles and wars. It's like, you know, almost like you're cheating on somebody's like spouse. You know, you told this one info, you didn't tell me. And I always had the same thing. My attitude was, I don't care. I don't care if somebody hides it from me, so they can't be mad if I hide it from them. That was the attitude I always had, and still have.
I was never in the know on anything, so I have nothing to hide from anyone. Any info I got was just by proximity to other people. I know nothing about this hobby. It's true. I've never had any information.
By the way, you had given me a list a while ago of people that you wanted to get alerted on.
Yes.
And I never was able to do it because it was like weird. They were never around. And you've gotten a lot of them. I know Denise Richards,
yes.
Amy Smart was on the list.
Now James Marsden. Let's go.
Oh, was he
James
on the list too?
Yes. James Marsden.
I'll have to remember that.
And that's, I think, as far as my list.
Still need your op with Gary Oldman.
I never got the op with Gary Oldman either. He signed and wouldn't do the photo.
Oh, yeah.
He was very quirky that time we got him. I have to say, his reputation with him was so nice. He was not nice that day.
I got him. He was doing something. I don't know what the hell he was at. Like
it was at the Metrograph Theater.
Yeah,
I basically forced you to go.
You did.
I was like, you will get him there.
And he signed for us, but he kind of was very brusque about it. So
yeah, he's usually nice. He doesn't come to the States a lot. You know, he's not here that much. But what I will say, my last story, is several years ago, Sean and I both went to this podcast. It was terrible. This podcast with Jane Fonda.
Yes.
In Morristown. And you had the VIP, I didn't. And I was actually I was going. So what happens a lot of times at these theaters are these older people want to sit up close, and sometimes the only way they can sit up close is to buy these like very expensive VIP seats. They don't want the VIP, but they want to see. They can't see, so they want to sit up close. So a lot of times what happens to these things is they just get up and leave. They don't stay for the meet and greets. A lot of these people don't stay. And so that was kind of what I was trying to do, was to like mooch off of one of them. And so I saw you there and you were like, no, just come with me. And I was like, are you sure?
They weren't checking a damn thing.
Well, I know, but sometimes they do.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he got me the Jane Fonda photo op, which I tried on the street many times, and she's always a pain about it.
And so, she signed for me behind the building, too.
That was the thing. You were very concerned about it. I said, Liz, trust me, come, we'll come outside. She will sign. And she did sign.
I got her to sign. It's actually sick. I got her to sign an 8x10 of her mugshot. No, I mean, it's an iconic photo. If you're using the Jane Fonda mugshot, it's one of my favorite pieces I own, actually. It's a gorgeous, like really high contrast black and white, and she just spanked it huge with a blue Sharpie. It looks sick.
That'll be on eBay by September.
No, I've had it for years. I actually love it. I cherish it. I'm waiting for her to die.
Then it'll be on eBay.
I don't know what she's going to be worth. She signed through the mail for years.
No, I know, but I don't need to sell that. I really love it. I really love the thing, and I was thrilled to get her. But she wasn't like smiling or anything back there. She was very businesslike. You know, she hit one for me.
Yes.
And then there was a dude who had an original painting. He had this huge painting of her. And there's always some weird dude with a painting. Anywhere that's what you start doing more of this hobby. There's always a weird guy walking around with a painting.
Canvas.
Yeah. And so some dude with a painting, and she hit it really nice, big silver for him too. I remember, and that was that. Yes, good times.
Yeah, it was a nice little event.
Good times guaranteed.
I spent most of it in the bathroom. I had had some trouble, but yeah.
You were creating compost for Jane Fonda's.
I don't know about I don't know how useful that was in that place, but they had nice bathrooms there.
All right, so what are we doing in the near future? Greg, are you going to Monster Mania or no?
I don't think so. I haven't.
You're going.
I love how you say you don't.
But
You're gonna pop it.
The show's
no one I need.
It's a week away. How do you not know?
Someone's gonna leave a wristband for you under a rock
If no one
behind a
I
bush,
need.
and you're gonna go in.
But everyone there I have already, and even if they're not a Monster Mania regular, I've gotten the people on the street or whatever. There's no one I need there. No one. I need Sting, apparently, but you guys are going to take care of that.
Kayfabe, man. Come
I
on.
know. Jeez. So is that a maybe or is that a hard no?
I'm not going.
It's a hard no. So we're going to be at Monster Mania on
There's
Saturday.
somewhere else.
Saturday, we'll be there.
And I'm not going to lie, I don't
I
want to
thought
go.
you weren't going.
I'm
No,
going.
we're going.
I'm going.
I don't want to go, but we committed to going. So I'm just tired. I don't want to drive anymore. But we're going to go. It's a decent
I think
lineup.
it's my turn to drive. So.
No, I just don't want to be. I'm sick of traveling at this point. But here we are. I committed to it. We're going to go. Thankfully, I believe that's the last con of the summer. It has to be.
Not for me.
For my sanity, it has to be. Please tell me this is the last con of the summer.
Well, the summer's.
You're not even saying yes.
You know, the summer ends on September 23rd.
That's why I'm saying it needed to be the end.
Definitely not the last. There's many.
For me.
Maybe
Yes.
For you.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know.
Are you going to Tropicon?
Absolutely not.
Ugh.
0.0 chance.
For Rocco?
No.
Well, there's CT Horror
That's a no for me.
Well, I gotta go.
For what?
I need Joe Dante.
You're going to get Joe Dante?
Where was I getting him? He's never appeared here.
He did, yes. Because I got Joe Dante. So how did I get him if you didn't get him?
It must have been a long time ago.
No, it was, yes. He did a Monster Mania ages ago. Or it could have been Fangoria, too.
Oh, well, Fangoria.
It was something like
Safety
that.
Horror is a
Decades
nightmare,
ago.
though. Kane Hodder has a 3-hour lineup there.
Joe Dante will not have a line.
I got Joe Dante on my Gremlins.
It's just it's in Hartford, and I hate Hartford.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember when I got him because it was
There's that, and then there's RetroCon.
No,
I need
that's
people
enough.
there.
Who?
I need more. I gotta get Maurice LaMarche on that Ghostbusters thing now, and I need Joey Kramer from Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot.
So I gotta go to that, and there's a lot of cons for me.
We have. Are you doing the Charlie Sheen?
Nah, I haven't. I got enough.
So we're doing that one. NYCC. I'm sure you have a list like we all do.
I currently need 2 people, and I don't remember the second one. The first one I need is Christopher Daniel Barnes.
Oh, that's Prince Eric, right?
Yes. Well, he's from those Brady Bunch movies also.
But he no shows and cancels a lot of shows.
Yeah, I think he'll be at New York, though.
He canceled New York Comic Con last time they booked her.
Is it him?
No, last time they booked Jodie. He canceled.
Did he?
Yes. I'm 100% because I bought stuff for both of them and only she was there. This would have been right before, 2018, 2017.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
They booked her and him. He no-showed and she showed up.
Do you still have the stuff?
I sold it all.
Okay.
Come on. What are we doing here? Do you not know me? God.
I need him. Need him on my Little Mermaid poster.
Who else do you need?
At New York?
Yeah.
I can't remember. There was literally one other person. It's when they put out that graphic with all the names, the people I needed are like the tiniest 4-point font. And those are the 2 people that I need so far.
I'm still waiting for a couple more headliners to get announced,
No worry, someone's gonna come on Friday just to make me squirm.
Yeah, well then they announced them. Well then the last week they announced all the panels, and then I have to go find their hotels.
That's a whole other
panel people.
I don't do that.
Well,
what about Reese Witherspoon? Are you doing that? I want to know. No.
I'm not. I don't like her. So
mean.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I just don't like her.
You like Legally Blonde?
No. The only, I'll be
You
honest.
like Cruel Intentions?
I like Cruel Intentions, but
You gotta get her.
Well, it's sold out now.
no,
Anyway,
it's sold out right away.
Um,
The only
Switcheroo. Or maybe a swapperoo.
we were talking about it earlier. I don't know if I was talking about you. I'm pretty sure she did Special Delivery with Paul Rudd.
I don't know.
Because remember, is it Road Trip?
Right.
Special, they're the same movie. I think she did that movie. Maybe the only thing I liked her in. So that's a no.
I think that's pretty much it for our upcoming shows. So if you're shopping for autographs, check out www.markedoutcollectibles.com or our eBay store at Marked Out Collectibles to contact us for any reason. Even bad ones. I don't care. Please email markedoutcollectibles@gmail.com or join the Marked Out Collectibles official marketplace on Facebook. And the only signing we currently have on the books is we're doing mail-ins for Mike Tyson or pre-orders for Dana's designs for Mike Tyson, who's going to be at the big event in November. And that's all we have ready to announce for now. A couple things coming up that just are not ready to announce yet. So I actually have gun to my head, I have no idea what the runtime is for the show.
Ugh.
I don't even want to speculate.
It's either 47 minutes or 4 hours. I'm not sure.
Let's have a look. What are we looking at? The runtime is...
That's it?
It's actually not that bad, all things considered. I really thought we were going to be like 17 hours. It feels... Look, I've been up since 1 a.m. It's now 9 p.m.
Oh, Lord.
I only slept 2.5 hours last night, so right now I'm kind of running on fumes. So I think we're ready to call it an episode. Thank you to Greg 2600. I do want to respect the gimmick.
But we're respecting the gimmick in person.
Yeah. For coming on here, and I had a lot of fun. I was laughing a lot.
It only took me a 6-hour drive to get on your stupid show.
I mean, you gave me this gave me the opportunity to talk shit about chiropractors, which I love to do. Add it to my list of people I talk shit about. And
2 edits.
I can say shit. I can't say the F word. Yeah, it's fine. I said shit like 3 times last week.
Always
about that guy. Oh, by the way, the Justin from the Wrestling Classic podcast, still a thieving piece of shit, coward,
Oh, Lord.
worthless human being.
Well, at least I agree with that. I don't agree with I love chiropractors.
Stop saying that. It's
I think
embarrassing.
you should have a match.
He's still a coward, still a thief, still a fraud, and a phony and a worthless human being. And you can take that to the bank, to quote Interstate 60.
What about Studio 60?
No,
on the Sunset Strip.
No.
So when you quote Steven Seagal and go to the blood bank.
So for markedout.com, Marked Out Collectibles, Marked Out Radio, I'm Sean.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Greg.
And we will see you next week.
Not
from Pittsburgh, not from Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.